Hello, friends. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain, and we are your fuck buddies.
We are a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and we turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we either answer questions from our dear listeners, or that we find wild roaming the internet just in search of some advice, and we deliver that advice.
Just some wayward questions, just grazing gently in the fields of uncertainty.
What we do is we walk through the long grass, and questions jump out and attack us, and we throw our balls at them.
We use our other questions to battle them.
Now, Dane.
Yes.
Speaking of throwing balls to capture rare creatures in long grass, have you collected one of the rarest man yet?
Probably not.
You haven't laid eyes on the so-called rarest man? The Sigma male?
Ooh, Sigma male.
Have you heard of this lately?
No, absolutely not.
So what I can only imagine is in a response to the rise of I hear there's this great podcast that's kind of like anti-pickup artist. I forget what's called, Sex Friends or something. But they've gone one step further. No longer is the alpha male the top. Now the Sigma male is the rarest man.
Well, okay, there's a difference between being the apex and the rarest. Because, I would say that having a terrible disease would make you a rare person. It wouldn't make you anything to... I'm not looking at people who have, horribly rare genetic disease and being like, damn, wish I was him.
A Sigma is an alpha, but he's got more of an edge. Think a lone wolf. He also commands a room with quiet mystery and intrigue. Because of that, women gravitate to him. He also finds success in his career, but isn't afraid to push the envelope and take risky moves. Men in the manosphere regard the Sigma as the rarest archetype and pine for those qualities. Think John Wick. Some even regard Keanu Reeves himself as a Sigma.
So, okay, it seems like Sigma, what they're now idolizing is a decent human being.
I think it's basically just alpha, but I think they're trying not to say it. So they're what they would previously claim alpha, because it's basically all the things that an alpha does, but quieter.
What they're just if you're saying, hey, Keanu Reeves, who is kind of regarded as, one of the nicest people in sort of, the social consciousness, to be like, yeah, man, he's a Sigma. It's like, okay, you're now just worshipping, or at least recognizing that not being an absolute asshole is what women want. It seems like these guys have discovered decency and are like, holy shit.
Whoa, what the fuck is this?
Hold on a second. You say that if I don't grab women by the lower back and pull them away from their friends while sweating all over them, they're going to like me more?
I don't have to capture them with my blazer and put them in my sweat cave?
If I don't desperately try to shoehorn how much money I make into a conversation in an effort to attempt to impress these women, they might respect me more?
Now, you would hope that that's the way they went, right? You look at Keanu Reeves, you're like, damn, he's a really nice guy. Seems very down to earth. It would be great if that's who they're celebrating. However, I see no proof that that's the thing, but we do have 3 quotes from a 2-hour-long Sigma male affirmation video just to get us to level us up, I think.
Okay.
Right? So this is a 2-hour-long video, and it echoes phrases like this. I have a steely gaze and a strong presence. I am hard to understand. From a place of powerful intuition, confidence, and perception, I can easily pierce through lies and manipulation. That sounds like a feat in Pathfinder.
That's literally a class description for a fantasy character, 100%.
And finally, I am comfortable being the brooding figure.
Okay, I've switched my thing for them deciding what decency is. No, they've discovered teenage emo. You found teenage angst.
I am hard to understand. I can see through manipulation while I brood.
It's
there's a 4th point about putting on eyeliner and My Chemical. Oh, fuck. It's emo. It's just, god damn it.
You must wear checkered Converse.
Man, I fucking wanna die. What? What's happening here? Yeah, so that's a new thing we have to deal with. It's really funny because they make like a throwaway line in this article, and it's like, it recently became viral on Twitter when someone reposted screenshots of Sigma related content with the caption, "What the fuck is going on with man?"
Just like, hey, Steven, I really appreciate you coming into work and trying something new, but I don't think it's appropriate for your suit jacket to be covered in band patches.
I'm not okay. I'm a Sigma male.
I'm just a sig, and my life is a nightmare.
So yeah, that's the thing. So we can all strive to one day be that Sigma male. Now I'm just gonna brood in the shadows while the rest of the conversation goes on. I hope you can hear that I've turned off my lights and I look very sad.
You know what? Here's the thing. If this is the new tactic, if they're gonna sort of step back from like the aggressive peacocking, like in your face, like I'm the cock of the walk, to just kind of like lurking in the shadows, I think this is a win.
Hey, remember that dude that like literally stopped going to the underground because we would stop him like basically assaulting people? He
Yeah.
did lurk in the shadows near the bathroom.
Yeah.
He could like corner women that were by themselves. So it's not much of a step away.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. You ready for a question?
Yeah.
Want to hit me? Want to hit you?
Yeah, I'm going to start off because I want to get to a user submitted question before we run out of time.
Hell yeah.
This comes from oh no. I didn't really look at the agent name submitted, but now I've parsed it. This comes from Agent Broken Vag.
Okay.
I have never made my boyfriend of 2 years come with just penetration, and it is destroying me. When he's close, he will pull out, rip off his condom, and start jerking himself off until completion, followed by the same old phrase, "Will you take this?" in brackets, in my mouth. I do. Feeling like we never get anywhere because he is so stuck in this play by play. I basically feel like, why am I there anyway? Could you please help shed some light? Is this normal activity because of the porn industry? Any advice would be appreciated.
Now, I imagine, yeah, the porn industry has definitely played into that massively. Whether it's normal or not, I would say no.
Yeah, I don't love the word normal because especially when it comes to sex, it's so fucking like the degrees of everything, but it sounds like there is something at play here. And I
Mhm.
think that is what we need to sort of discuss as opposed to like, you know, trying to pH balance
Yeah,
what's
honestly, there is no normal. Like,
yeah.
but on the other hand, I also don't think this is normal. Like, I know those are two very contradictory statements,
Yeah.
but I still think that's true.
I
For
don't think
me,
it's healthy, which is like the
no,
important thing
no,
to
I don't think so. And especially not if you are upset, which clearly it seems that way going by the name and, what we just read. So many things. So firstly, like have you talked to him? Have you let him know that you do not like this? Because, it might not be that your vagina isn't good enough or he doesn't feel whatever. It might just be that he thinks you like this as much as he does and, he wants to finish with your mouth around his dick. It could be as innocent as that. Like he doesn't understand that this is affecting you. And like for him, like blowjobs are great, mouths are great. Having a condom off and being able to feel like a little bit more, it's pretty great. So like not all negatives there. So like one thing I would definitely say is to talk to him because if he doesn't realize that this is affecting you, and if it's an issue of like him making the choice rather than not being able to, I think it is definitely good to get that out of the way. And at least if he knows where you're coming from, you guys can like maybe shake it up, work on this.
my first question when I read this was I was like, have you talked to him about it? Because if you haven't, that needs to be step number one. And I think
Yeah.
we can like discuss some tactics on how to bring it up in a bit. Another thing I want to put on, and not like really in his defense, but something that might be on his mind is he might not feel comfortable finishing inside you wearing a condom. I know there are a lot of people, both men and women, who, despite the means of contraception that you're wearing or using, ejaculating inside someone concerns them or scares them to the point of not finishing. I was like that when I first started having sex, and even like kind of when I was single and sleeping with multiple people. I wasn't a big fan of finishing inside someone, even if I was wearing a condom, and even if they were like, "I'm on the pill." It just wasn't something like it stressed me out so much because like for, however long after I had done it, I would be like, God, I hope I don't get a fucking call or a text. And then I know that's an irrational fear to some degree, but like it could be something like that kicking to play where he, wants to pull out to finish. And then a combination of, yes, the porn seems to definitely, of the like, finishing in your mouth kind of thing, definitely seems to be at play here. And also kind of like what you said, where it's like he might have done it once and it went over well, or you guys did it and you agreed to it, and now he just kind of thinks that like this is the acceptable way to finish in this relationship, with neither of you having discussed why he's doing it and that you actually don't like it.
Yeah, and if it's making you feel bad, and I'm guessing by the Broken Vag agent name that you feel that way, then it's definitely something you need to talk about. You need to get out of the way. If it is the case that he cannot finish, for whatever reason, then he's probably using the wrong condom. You know what I mean? Maybe it's too big, maybe it's too small, maybe there's too much lube, too little lube. Maybe the position's wrong. It could just be a mental thing. There are a lot of things to get into then, but like you 100% need to talk to him first, let him know where you're coming from, and then figure out what his problem is then before shaking it up and either trying, like there are condoms that are thinner, there are condoms that, there are a lot of different ways to do this, but I do think it's pretty unfair and unrealistic for him to expect you to finish him in your mouth every time you guys fuck, unless you want to.
Yeah, even if you don't mind it, like even if you don't care about finishing them off in your mouth, like even like a little bit of variety is nice. To do the same thing every time, it really does kind of like damper the mood, or at least like I know if I knew like what I was going to do during sex, like if every time I had sex I knew like play by play, beat by beat what was going to happen, I think I'd find it a lot less enjoyable and a lot less exciting.
Oh, 100%. Like every time I have sex, it is wildly different. And that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like I don't plan it before I go in half the time. Sometimes you're like, you know what I want to do? And you do it. And that's fine. Yeah. And just knowing if it's always going to go down the same way, that's not very fun.
What I do also want to say is don't assume that because he's doing this is you're not satisfying him sexually, because chances are what's happening is he's pulling himself out because you are about to make him finish,
Yeah.
right? Like the penetration and your vagina and all that, there's nothing wrong there. It seems like it's doing its job, and at the point of him finishing, he pulls out to stop himself from finishing.
Yeah. And let's be fair, like you're not just a vagina. You're an entire person and a thing. You've clearly turned him on and gotten him there, but at the same time, it's still your mouth. It's still you that's participating and turning him on. Like the fact that you're saying you feel like you're not there, like that kind of breaks my heart a little, because it's like you're reducing yourself to just a vagina. Obviously you feel bad about it, or else you wouldn't be writing this question, but like you're still there, you're still participating, you're still like part of every aspect of this. You know what I mean? There could be a million reasons why he's doing this. Like maybe it just feels dirtier to like come in your mouth. You know what I mean? Whereas like coming in the condom is quite clean, and it's, the other one has like an air of like dominance and like maybe like a hint of like, I don't want to say degradation, because like I don't think he means, you know what I mean, like in a kinky sense, not in a mean sense. So maybe those are kinks that you might want to explore, and maybe this is kind of how he gets like a little hint of that. Like there are so many different ways this could be done. Not all of them are negative, unless you have talked about this and he doesn't care and insists on doing it, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of ways that are not negative about him and you, by any means, that this could go down. And you need to talk. You just need to talk and figure it out. If there's some more wild shit, you can follow up with part 2 of this question. But I really do think you need to talk, let them know how you're feeling, and move on kind of like accordingly, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. You need to sit down and have a conversation, be like, hey, can we talk about, and like I said, we always urge, this is not a thing to have like right after sex.
No.
People tend to be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more on edge when that. This is, if you find a time where you guys are sitting down and talking, or, even just choosing a moment, it's hard, it's tough, I know. But especially because you've been doing it for so long, it seems kind of strange to be like, hey, so about this thing we've been doing for 2 years, presumably. But it's enough to be like, hey, I would like to talk to you about sort of like sex, and be like, when you finish, like, why do we do this every time? And is there a reason you don't want to finish, inside me? Is there something else we can do? Can we like maybe change it up a bit? Um, and pursue those conversations, and talk to him. And like, I think the two things you need to talk about when you have this conversation are, one, why he does this every time, why he refuses to do anything else, even in like, you know just coming on your ass, or like, if he doesn't want to finish inside you, there are other options. It seems like he's laser focused on this one. And then also bringing up how you feel about it, because just kind of like needling him about it, I think could put him on the defensive. But if you're like, this is how I feel about it, and I would like to not feel this way anymore, I think is a good way to sort of bring the conversation where it's about both of you guys.
Yeah, and I think like it's very easy for conversation like this to go badly because everyone's insecure when they're talking about really personal things like sex and their genitals and whatnot. So try not to skew it that way. And you can always, add a little bit of spicy sexiness in there and be like, hey, I want to feel your dick come when it's like inside me. Obviously, you have a condom on, but like, you know, I want to that like intimate moment. And that's a lot more fun to hear than like, why are you not doing this? Am I not good enough? You know what I mean? Like you can add things in there because I'm sure you do want to feel that, right? And
Yeah.
it's nice to hear and it's sexy, right? So I think try to err on the positive, but 100% you have to talk to them. And like if there is an issue, like if it's a sensation issue, maybe try more lube, less lube, different condom, bigger, smaller, thinner, etc. If it's a mental issue, then you guys got to talk about that.
So hopefully you can work this out. Please let us know if you guys come to a conclusion, or if you have any other questions. If you need to like follow us up with a little bit more detail, we can delve in a little deeper. But hopefully we are able to help you there. And thank you, as always, for trusting us with your question.
Are you ready for some bitterness?
Yeah.
What is a walk date? After 6 months hiatus from OLD, online dating, I recently returned to find the bar as well and truly on the floor. There seems to be a lot
Jesus.
of cost minimization strategies employed by men of online dating. So good, in fact, I'm surprised Bain and McKinsey haven't come knocking at their door. I don't know what that means. 7 out of 10 dates I'm being asked on are walking dates. Can please someone enlighten me as to what is a walking date? I enjoy keeping fit and go to gym 3 times a week and walk my dog daily, but what is a walk as the main and only activity in the context of a first date? Are we walking to a bar or a restaurant or just walking around aimlessly? In my city, COVID restrictions have eased and most venues have reopened and returned to pre-COVID capacity. I find these offers cheap, low value, and do not show respect for my time nor a serious intention for a relationship, which is what I'm looking for. I'm not a show pony to take for a walk around the paddock for the man to decide if I'm hot enough for a real date and investment. In almost all cases, I say flat out no, with the exception of a few instances where I've regrettably suggested a more appropriate date, only to find the man exhibit traits of stinginess on the date, such as not allowing me to order food, i.e., they already ate before date, etc. So going forward, I will just cut my losses at the first suggestion of a walk date. Would be interested to hear if others are experiencing this strange phenomenon. One more thing. To add insult to injury, most of the time the guy expects you to go to them for the walk. I'd love to know which girls are accepting these dates, as it's enabling this LVM behavior in prevalent in online dating today. LVM meaning, I just
Low
looked it up.
value male.
Low value male.
Yeah, got it. So- oh boy. I love that we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right?
And she's like, how dare these assholes want to be in fresh air and not in highly, dangerous situations so that they can buy me dinner.
Yeah, like this is literally just I'm pissed because they're not spending money on me.
Yeah.
If that's all you want from a first date, you suck. Right? Like if your main thing is like, oh no, are they spending money on me? Like whether it be, I don't know, a taxi or a cake or fucking beer or dinner. Like if that's your main thing, you suck. I'm sorry. You're dating wrong.
The best is like when she was like, they didn't let me order food because they had already eaten. It's like, you can order food. Like, like
No, they
you're
didn't
welcome.
let her.
Yeah, it's like I highly doubt the guy was like, ah, yeah. No, it's like, you go ahead. I've already eaten, but if you're hungry,
Yeah.
go for it. I bet
Um,
you that's what it went. And she got mad because like she probably assumed that they weren't gonna buy her food.
yes, which is so fucked up. It's like him having eaten has no bearing on whether you can have food or not. Like he didn't like grab you and like, muzzle you as the fucking waitress or waiter came over and was like, no, don't look at her. Don't listen. She can't have
Yeah.
food.
Oh,
I ate.
she's not hungry, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, just a glass of water for her.
The only thing this person can think of about going around to walk is that they're being paraded around like a horse, like they're showing off or like judging them. It's like if they want to go out with you, you've been judged. And they find you acceptable at the very least.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but if you're on online dating, chances are that, like, yeah, they've seen you and they know what you look like, unless your pictures are fucking buck wild. Which, hey, let's not put it out past this woman that
Yeah.
her pictures are like 10 years old. I've never gone on a date to be like, I wonder if this woman's attractive.
Yeah.
Because it's like, sure, I've gone on dates where I've been like, oh, your pictures are very misleading and I'm not attracted to you. That's fine. That's cool.
That's
Or,
a totally different situation.
yeah, over the course of the date, I've not found them attractive because of who they are.
Yeah, like
Also
what would
fine.
happen if I went out with this person?
But 9 times out of 10, you're not going on a date to discern whether or not you find them attractive, because that's the craziest idea ever.
Yeah, the irony is like going out on a walking date is probably more personal than going to a bar because like you don't have alcohol to distract you. You don't have other things kind of going around. It's just you and them and you're talking, you're getting to know each other. So it's not, as she claims, like a step away from a real relationship because that's actually quite, a personal getting to know you step. It's not like I want to hook up, right? Maybe it is,
Yeah.
but like it's also a pandemic. It's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, like the safest place you can be right now is kind of like outside in fresh air. That's
Yeah.
why there's so many places that don't let indoor dining take place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's one thing. I mean, like, these guys are already taking enough of a risk to like be dating.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, I'm okay with not being indoors and surrounded by a bunch of people. That's cool.
Yeah, like minimizing that risk is a respectful and cool thing to do. And to like disparage them because they're not spending money. Because again, there's no other metric here. It's just money.
Yeah.
That's fucked. And you suck at dating.
So I have a question for you.
Me or this hypothetical woman?
No, for you.
Okay.
Because I'm more or less done with this woman. This comes from Igloo Filet on Reddit. I'm not going to read the question.
Oh, we got one of those.
Yeah. I mean, it gets right into it. So they say, hello. So I'm talking to this guy, and we were talking about how strange dicks are. So I mentioned the thing about when a guy cracks his dick, like he cracks his knuckles. And this guy tells me I'm insane, and no guy can do that. My ex used to do this all the time, mostly only when he had a semi-boner. He would basically take his dick in his hand and crack it, just like his knuckles. I was so fascinated and weirded out by this at the same time. I had no idea dicks did that. He told me most dicks can. But now I'm talking to this guy, and he has never heard of it, and I don't know anyone else who knows of it. Was my ex some kind of X-Man, being able to crack his dick? I swear it cracked. I've seen it, heard it with my own eyes.
She dated Cracky D?
Yeah.
Cracky D, famed superhero of the Midwest?
Imagine that being your superpower.
It's just like in the pivotal moment, it distracts them. It's like they're about to, like, they've gun to your head and they're like, say goodbye. And you're like, and they like look down your dick and you knock them out.
That's the thing. It's like I was joking about being like, it's a shitty superpower. But if I was robbing a grocery store and some guy would just dropped his pants and just snapped his dick, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck?
To be fair, even just hearing it made me feel ill. I can't imagine seeing and or actually like hearing it, not just hearing it be described. Yeah, okay, okay, we're both on the same non-cracky dick sitch, right?
What? No, watch.
Oh man. I was going to do that. I was like fighting to find something near me that I could like crack, but like my bones don't crack. My knuckles, my joints, nothing cracks on me.
Everything cracks on me.
Including that shaft.
No, thankfully. And then like a bunch of people in the comments, it was pretty much 50-50 of people being
What?
like, yeah, I do it all the time. And
What
other
is
people
there
being
to
like,
crack?
So, I did a little bit of research. And
Mm-hmm.
this is actually talked on uh, Dan Savage's podcast, and he had
Okay.
like a doctor on there,
Wait,
and
is
they
that
were,
the podcast we beat in the Filipino charts?
yes, it is.
Okay, so just go continue.
Sorry, Dan Savage. You maybe
Sorry,
said my
that's how I
name.
just wanted to double check that we were in fact at 1 point better than you. Continue.
But yeah, like apparently, so it's at the very base of your shaft,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of like where the skin meets your pubis, or like the shaft meets your pubis. You could pop that, and the doctor is like, yes, that happens. But they offered no explanation as to what specifically
Is
was
popping?
popping.
And also, is it bad for you?
Well, here's my thing: is I assume it is, because cracking your knuckles is not good for you. You know what I mean?
Isn't
Like it.
that a myth?
No, I think it was like I think there is
Because I've
like it's
heard both. I've heard both sides of that.
so the I think the myth is that it creates air pockets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what's bad. I think the what is actually bad for you is that it promotes like bone movement that isn't supposed to move, and grinds down the bone in ways that it isn't meant to be moving. I think
So
is the actual.
WebMD is telling me right now it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, go crack your dicks.
Unlikely to cause you harm. Now, I say that purely about Knuckles because I do not I refuse to believe that cracking your dick is healthy. So please don't crack your dick, especially not because of this podcast. If you want to do it on your own accord, by all means, we do not give you the green light. I don't. I
Yeah,
personally do not give you the green light to crack your dick.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a good thing to do.
Like, hey, do it if
I
you want. We're not going to stop you,
The
but we
thing
will
is,
not endorse it.
I am kind of curious because like there's nothing better than like having a good back crack or like a neck crack or a knuckle crack. Like, does it feel good?
Can you like
I,
crack yourself to completion?
well, okay. Here's the thing.
Can
I don't
you
think it
can you
feels.
can you crack off?
Ooh, cracking off. I don't think it feels sexually good, or I wouldn't imagine it's a sexual pleasure. The same way that like cracking your back isn't a sexual pleasure, but it's a release. It is a good feeling. I would like to know. And I say that, like, let me tell you right now, I'm in no way going to try to figure out how to pop my dick.
I don't even know what it would pop there. Is it just some people have something?
Think about, oh yeah, what's popping? I have no idea. But the image someone drew as a way to describe it is like, think about your dick, like your legs are spread in a V, sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Your dick is erect, pointing out,
Mm-hmm. Like you mean up?
not up, but like like a straight out from your. I know this is
Okay.
an
Don't
unlikely
like
way
it.
that
I
it
don't
would.
like it.
And then like you bring your hand straight down onto it, like almost like a claw machine game,
Okay.
and then you're gripping it so that the thumb is towards the base of your shaft,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just crank it to the left or right, I guess.
That's terrible. I'm done with no. I'm done with this.
We've told you how or what not to do with your genitals. I think it's time to tell you some pleasant things to do to your genitals. Let's take a quick little break.
We will not endorse cracking your dick, but what we will endorse, and who will endorse us, is Manscaped.
Valentine's Day is upon us, fellas, so make sure you're ready for wherever the night may take you. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below the waist grooming, are here to tell you that you need to use the best tools for the job so you can be ready for anything on that special day.
Once again, we are sponsored by Manscaped, and 2 million men are already trusting them and their products to groom. Make sure you're one of them. So, funnily enough, I was not a person who indulged in manscaping until we actually got our wonderful packages off the Manscaped people. Many reasons, like I never really had any complaints. I also never really knew what to do. And there was like an element of that fear, like you never want to get that nick. And like, it's funny because since we've been sponsored by Manscaped, so many people have reached out and told me about them getting their shaft or their balls, or as Dane, illustrated his taint. Uh, And that didn't sound great. So the other day, 2 weeks ago now, I went and did my first little groom down there, courtesy of Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. And it was fucking great. It was very easy. It was very simple. And I'm just saying this for all the people out there who haven't, like I did, that you should consider it. If you're interested, it's actually very painless. And I mean that mentally and physically.
So what you're saying is, using Manscaped, you have a 100% success rating in trimming your balls.
Technically, yes. I have never cut my balls. And that is technically all due to Manscaped.
Yeah. 100% success rating from Niles Spain.
Yeah. No, but like seriously, it is really good. I did it in the shower. It's waterproof, so there's no mess on the bathroom floor or the sink. On top of that, it has a cutting-edge ceramic blade, so it reduces grooming accidents, and I am happy to say I got out unscathed.
Valentine's Day is tough. For guys, it's very easy to figure out what we can do for our ladies. You know what I mean? Like a nice thing of flowers, some chocolates, a good dinner. And that's like, as long as you put in a little bit of effort, it's fairly easy to have a good Valentine's Day. But when it comes for the ladies getting the guys something, it's difficult. Ladies, we're here for you and telling you this is something that is going to, as Niall mentioned last week, it's going to benefit both of you. One, he's going to clean up. He's going to love the things you get him because they're fucking incredible. Also, if you get the Perfect Package 3.0, he's also going to get a pair of the best looking boxers that you're probably ever going to see him in. They're soft as hell, and let me just tell you, they're going to make his ass and dick look fantastic.
These are some functional ass boxers, and like boxers that feel that good shouldn't look that good, but they do. Like I would wear them to work as easily as I would wear them on a date, and that's great.
We don't get a whole lot of sexy things. We've talked about this before. It's like guys don't really get the chance to like wear lingerie and like that kind of stuff. We really only get one piece, and it's the boxers. And 9 times out of 10, it's like they're all kind of run of the mill. The Manscaped ones, I don't know how to describe it without showing you.
Well, Dane, do it. Show them right now. Shove it through this microphone.
Hey man, I'm going to tell you right now. If someone tweets or sends us a picture of them using our code, which we'll tell you at the end of this break, cashing out at Manscaped, buying yourself something, I will post a picture of my butt in the boxers.
I will join this pledge.
We will, there it is. We will post pictures of our butts in the boxers. All it takes one person show us that you used our code, and we will reveal these booties.
Now, I will say, on top of that, the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver, like, I like them because they're functional in that, like, my balls and my dick smell great. And you want to feel safe because, there's nothing worse than you hear those horror stories, and we've heard them before, of going down on someone smelling something you shouldn't. And it kind of ruins the whole experience. But on top of that, their foot deodorant, it just arrived from my roommate, and it's fucking great. It smells as good. It smells like cologne almost. It's like your shoes are gonna smell like a sexy man, and that's incredible.
Yes, smell is a lot of people kind of like overlook the smell aspect of things. And if you smell good, you're gonna be instantly more attractive to everyone. And I'm not talking like everyone is going to appreciate your presence more if you smell good. And that is a Dane Miller fact.
It's true. And on the topic of smell, they also have a new refined cologne signature scent. It's the same signature scent that's in all their formulas, which one is great because it's good, but 2 is just proof of how good the rest of it smells, that they made a cologne on it, and it's the perfect complement to the package. So, down to business. This is the perfect package for your package or for your partner's package. And if you want 20% off and free shipping, just use the code BUDDIES20 at manscaped.com. That is BUDDIES20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you.
Once again, that is 20% and free shipping off everything in the store. Perfect package, the individual stuff, the cologne, anything on the store, 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code BUDDIES20. Happy Valentine's Day from Fuck Buddies and Manscaped.
So are we keeping things sexy? I guess.
Let's keep things sexy.
All right.
This is, I guess, technically our Valentine's Day episode.
This is Throw RA, Feast the Music. I'm not going to give you the title. Off the bat, I know there are more tragic, sordid, or complicated circumstances than this one. Some also might laugh more than sympathize. I get that. This is one of the worst experiences of my adulthood so far, and it happened yesterday. Background: I, 28-year-old male, have been dating my girlfriend, 22-year-old female, for about a year plus. She's wonderful, kind, mature, understanding, important traits to keep in mind. Crazy about one another and have a future. She knows the good, bad, and ugly about my past, and vice versa, and for the most part, I can tell her anything. However, being a relatively new relationship, we're still not past the honeymoon phase where I'm 100% comfortable being myself, warts and all. For example, I leave the room to pass gas, I don't pick my nose in front of her, and that's less of some of my grosser habits. I think that's fine. It's taken me a while in prior relationships to get there. I think that's true of most relationships. Unfortunately, that timeline will be pushed way, way up if I come clean to her about what just happened. So for the last month, we've been living in the same city. About a week ago, I started having stomach issues, namely constipation. Had it before, I've never seen a doctor or anything. This time, however, it was so bad I had to let her in on the loop. She was great about it, supportive, helpful, even found me a gastroenterologist to see. Our sex life took a dive, but that may have been me, mostly discomfort and not handling my embarrassment well. Fast forward to 3 days ago, I see a doctor, he prescribes a solution I take. After an hour of discomfort, followed by unbelievable relief in a long shower, I join her upstairs and we both pretend nothing happened. I thought it was done. Those more
Oh,
familiar
no.
with colon cleanses than I can probably guess what happened the next day. I drove
Oh,
to her
no.
apartment and when we were close. I felt some gas and like I had to fart. I held it in until she left though. Less than 2 blocks later, it became very clear very quickly it was not gas, and it felt like my whole stomach was full. I found the next parking spot. No restaurants or Starbucks nearby, but their building was 2 blocks away. I texted her and started to run, clenching the whole way, praying I could make it. I barely
Oh,
made it to
no.
her apartment on the 20th floor, called her with no answer. I started ringing, pounding the door, yelling her name to no avail. I knew her parents also lived there. She was likely at theirs. Couldn't remember their floor. Not that it matters. I couldn't make it anyway. All I could think about was not shitting my pants. I opened the stairwell door, saw it was empty. No one was coming. Rather than soil my drawers, I pulled them down. Crouched along the wall, I did the dirtiest, most disgusting, shameful act of my life on the stairwell landing a mere 2 doors down from where my girlfriend lives. It wasn't just crap, it can't even be described as diarrhea. It was everything there was remaining in my colon that had been backed up there for over a week. I truly struggle to believe a human produced it if I hadn't been its maker. I finished the fled as fast as I could. Of course, it was only afterwards, riding the elevator, that I remembered there was a bathroom off the lobby the whole time. I cleaned myself up in there and sprinted to my car, ignored dozens of texts and calls from girlfriend apologizing, asking if I still needed to use her apartment and if I found a bathroom. I responded when I got home, but kept them brief and vague, specifically ignoring the one asking if I found a bathroom. I have no idea if she found out or will find out. She's clever enough to put two or two together. Obviously, if someone mentioned something about it, unless it was cleaned up, it's certainly the sort of thing floor neighbors will talk about. I feel guilty, like I should come clean. I think/know she'll understand, but I doubt she'll see me the same way again. This isn't stinking up her bathroom. This is a full-grown man who couldn't hold it and wrecked her building's stairwell. I'm ashamed and embarrassed. If she finds out, especially for someone else, I'd feel horrified and humiliated. I think I'd have to break up with her. I know it sounds extreme, but I don't think we, or I, could recover. Even if she insisted it didn't change the way she saw me, I don't think I could believe her. Do I take this to my grave, hoping she never finds out, or finds out, never mentions it, and lets me live in blissful ignorance? Or do I come clean about it all and trust our relationship is strong enough to overcome it?
Whew. As someone who has had some terrible stomach issues in the past until I sort of figured out my situation, I feel this man's pain. Thankfully, I've never like shit out in public. I've always managed to like make it to a bathroom in time. I've done unspeakable bathroom crimes in those bathrooms,
Mm-hmm.
but at least there was running water. You know what I mean? Like at least I could flush it. At
Yeah.
least some poor fucking dude didn't have to clean it. Honestly, I'm a strong believer of being open and honest in relationships, but this is something that you take to your fucking grave.
Yeah. You gotta take it to your grave, man. I don't see any benefit in admitting to it.
No.
What's the benefit? Like, hey, maybe you show up in a balaclava one day with some glasses on and a shapeless robe and shoes that aren't yours. You can never be traced, and you throw $100 at the concierge and you run because maybe he had to clean it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe she had to clean it. I don't know. Maybe you send an anonymous letter that just says, "I'm so sorry about the stairwell. you know what I mean? Here's $3,000. Something, something like that. Because the thing is, I doubt she had to clean it. So she doesn't need to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was someone is hired to clean the building, and they had to deal with this.
Oh, don't worry. I found a Starbucks. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's you done. And she goes, oh, man, but somebody just spewed diarrhea all over the stairwell. You go, man, I understand that guy because that could have been me. Yeah. Move on.
But didn't he like go over to her house and then not go over to her house? Like you're gonna construct something like as to why he drove all the way there and then was like, I guess she didn't answer the phone, right?
Yeah, just be like, I remembered there was one in the lobby because there is camera evidence of you entering the lobby, going that back.
Well, I mean more like he was going over to her house.
No, he dropped her off and then was driving away and called her and was like, can I come back?
Oh.
Right? So like
in that case,
he ran up, she didn't answer. He went to the bathroom, not the bathroom, the stairwell where he acted.
Right. Yeah. Oh, in that case, yeah, you're fine. I thought he was going on his way to like hang out with her and then fucking dipped. Yeah.
No, it seems like he had dropped her off, was coming back, and just like,
The only thing you need to worry about, and this is because I'm watching shows like Your Honor and I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, is like there's always like the one thing that kind of like breaks the cart house.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a video camera in the stairwell?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, did the concierge see you run in desperately, like clench running, and saw you like sidling, trying not to walk properly so that your messy butthole doesn't get all over your trousers out of the stairwell? Like, they probably know it's you. Are you going to get arrested next time you show up at this building? Because that's even more embarrassing.
Yeah, imagine like you going like walk, like her parents live there. Here's the situation that's gonna happen for you, my dude. Her parents are coming down to walk their like little Pomeranian fucking dog, and she's in the lobby waiting for you. Oh, it's a surprise! Like, oh, fancy meeting you guys here. Oh, you look lovely, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And then fucking Steve, the concierge, locks eyes with you, and you know he cleaned it up, and he comes over and he's like, You shit monster. You're the shit monster. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith are like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, he's kept it in a bag, and he's going to empty that bag on your head.
It gets on the Pomeranian. No, there's nothing that can come out of you telling her. Maybe, one day when you're fucking 68 years old.
Yeah, that's like your married kind of story.
Bad poop stories are like, it's just like, there's nothing you can do.
That's the worst part, because there isn't. You know what I mean? If it's happening, it's happening. It's like, yeah, it sucks that another person has to clean up that stairwell, but it's easier to clean up a stairwell than shit all over your pants, dribble it everywhere else, and then sit in your car and just squelch your way home.
That's the thing. It's like, if you feel, because it sounds like this was a torrent of poop. Yeah. This is like, there's no way that's not dripping out your legs. You know what I mean? So it's like, this would have been a trail of shit. I would rather have to clean up a concentrated pile than, 17 floors of stairs that have just a little fucking chocolate sauce drizzle down fucking all these stairs. That would suck. That would be insult to injury.
Don't tell her. Just do not. And you know what? If she figures it out, that's going to be the end of the relationship, but that's okay.
I'm going to do a quick one. And I think we answer this with like one sentence each, or like one thought each. This comes from Reddit user TK2762. 24-year-old male. So I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a really cute girl who shares one mutual friend, my best friend's girlfriend, with me on Facebook. I want to message this girl, but I get the sense that girls find the cold approach on social media to be creepy. Doesn't help that my Facebook, Instagram accounts are basically empty. I don't like posting on social media. If I were to message this girl, what would be the best approach or what to say? I'm trying to build my confidence and not be insecure in approaching girls I find attractive.
Don't. If you really want to do it, talk to your friend's girlfriend. But even then, she's probably like, oh, he saw her on Facebook and thought she was cute. Like, okay, weird. You know what I mean? But that's the only natural way to go about it, is like through that connection that you have, especially if you've got like a weird ghost profile. But even 100%, if it's not cool. They're not going to be like, oh, great, another random man sending me some bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you have an in. She's a friend of your, hopefully she's a good friend. Hopefully it's not just like a, vague connection. But if they're good friends, I don't see any reason why you can't kind of set up a double date or an introduction at least. I would sort of like start with your best friend before going to the girlfriend. Like, talk to your best friend and be like, "Hey man, like, straight creeping. I saw this cute girl. How does she, like, how much does, your girlfriend know her?" And then ask your best friend to talk to the girlfriend on your behalf.
Yeah, and if nothing happens from there, then they've decided, or they've talked and it hasn't gone well, or the girlfriend has been like, no, I'm not going to do that. And that's it. Sorry, you've lost your position, but like, I really don't think anybody should be like cold approaching someone they don't know on fucking social media of all places.
The other thing is, like, it's a double-edged sword because, like, one, it's shitty to do and creepy and like no one wants it. And also, there's so many like filters on social media now. So like, if you're not friends with people, it usually goes to like your message requests.
Yeah.
So she probably might not even see it. And then your self-esteem gets kicked in the nuts because you think she ignored it.
Yeah.
So like, no one wins in that situation. So go through the channels that you might actually have a chance to talk to her. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Move on.
Also, like, if she does see it and is like, oh, that's fucking weird, and then she's like, oh, it's like my friend's boyfriend's friend, that could reflect badly on them, which could reflect badly on you. Like, maybe the girlfriend then doesn't want to hang out with his friend with him, like, it's just not fucking worth it. And also, no one appreciates that. No one's like, wow, someone saw my picture and thought I was attractive. Because guess what? I'll bet she's got 40 other fucking messages in her fucking thing, and she didn't appreciate any of them either.
Mm-hmm.
So just no.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. You have some Tinders for us?
Oh, you know it.
We like to finish off our episode with a deep dive of online dating profiles. We comb them for red flags in an effort to, one, laugh at them, and two, make your online dating efforts a little better.
Now, we don't get that many men profiles submitted to us, which I think is a shame. So if anyone wants to rectify that, send them this way. So we got one here. Do you want me to start or end with it?
Let's start.
You want to start? Okay, this is John. He's 41. 6 foot. Love music, sports, the great outdoor. Classical enthusiast. What do you think so far?
I mean, pretty run-of-the-mill.
No single moms. If you were a catch, he wouldn't have left you and the kids behind.
Damn. Okay.
Don't date this man.
Well, you did your best, dude.
I'm giving it a -10.
Yeah. Yeah, no dice for me. This is a big ol' red flag.
This is Shadnaz. I've traveled more than most people in my age and have more guy friends than girlfriends. Sort of my major and my career made me develop skills to get along with guys better than girls. I'm an influencer. Swipe left if it's an issue. P.S. I get bored. Fart emoji. So I unmatch you if you're boring. Shrug emoji. Instagram.
Did I have a stroke, or did the part in the middle about the talking to guys thing, did that make no sense?
That made absolutely no sense.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if I missed something or if I like blacked out.
I can only assume she prescribes to the like seduction school of all women are exactly the same, and therefore your major and your career can make you develop skills so you get along with guys better than girls. That doesn't make sense. Like, unless you're majoring in the manosphere and being a Sigma male, you'd actually just get on better with girls because you'd be so no one can understand you. You'd just be
so
brooding in the shadow.
I one, appreciate the like influencer warning, and two, hate that like that's someone's identity.
Yeah,
like being an influencer, like if you were actually an influencer, you wouldn't need to say it.
You realize we're technically influencers because we're sponsored.
Yeah, but like I don't say it.
Suck it, Shadnaz. I'm gonna give it a 1. Like, also, I get bored. No shit, everyone does. I unmatch you if you're boring. Yeah, no shit, everyone does.
Says this person is the most boring person. Yes. I bet it's all one-word answers from influencer Shadnaz.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just it's a 1. This is Sarah. Is anal cheating? Asking for a friend.
Now, here's the thing. We could be assuming that she's asking if it's like infidelity, or perhaps there's a game we don't know that's being played.
It's true. Like, maybe she's in a soccer league and she's like, no one talked about... I can't slide tackle. right? I can't shoulder check. It's anal cheating.
Can I fuck someone in the ass though?
Hey, you know what? You got to get that edge on some of those rec leagues, one way or another.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 5 because I just not clear.
Hey, it gets the people going. This is simply me, not interested.
Is that their profile name?
That is their name. There's a capital S and a capital M, but it is all one word.
Cool.
Their picture has put it out in blue writing over their selfie. I don't understand what we're meant to be putting out, but not interested in just hooking up. So please be more than just a handsome face and have more to offer than just a big cock. I would like to meet someone who is willing to engage in a deeper connection than intimacy.
Deeper connection than just intimacy.
What is a deeper connection than intimacy?
Is she equating intimacy with sex? Because that sounds like what she's doing, which is not right.
No, not at all. Maybe she's just found like the next level.
Yeah, maybe.
You heard of
Sigmacy?
Intimacy too?
Yeah, this sounds like also someone whose Facebook profile picture is like flowers. It's one of those things, I don't know why, but there's like a certain age, and I think it starts at like 38, where people think that landscape photos are acceptable pictures on online dating.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's not offensive, but it's not good.
Not good. Yeah. Sure. I agree with that.
And then last but not least, we have Shelby. Quote, insert some stupid love quote here, end quote. Some bullshit about me living wine, yoga, dogs in the mountains. Not for the mentally stable, shrug emoji.
Yeah, like, I love the anger. I love the approach of it's like, you don't seem like any fun. Why would anyone ever say yes to you other than physical attractive?
Yeah, like, I get that they're trying to poke fun at the, common conventions of online dating and women's profiles, like love quote, wine, yoga, dogs, mountains, lol, whatever. They aren't doing it very well. And then not for the mentally stable? That's some energy I don't want in my life. Mental stability is an issue in a relationship with you? It's not great.
And again, Niall's not being ableist. He's not implying that, having a mental disability or being mentally unstable makes you less of a person. But to specifically call out mental stability.
Yeah, it's a weird flex. I don't know. Because it's ableist in its own sense, or it's like fetishizing. I don't know, man. It's bizarre. It's getting a 1 from me.
Yeah, 1 sounds good to me.
Guys, we gotta get some more guys Tinders in here.
I'm strongly considering, for some reason, Tinder has been on my phone forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm strongly considering rebranding my Tinder to a Fuck Buddies account and setting it to guys and girls.
Do it.
And just like, what the hell else am I doing? We're all locked down, presumably forever at this point. Mm-hmm. So why not? Why not just...
You heard that dozens of Canadian businesses are going to open in a few days. That'll save us all.
It'll fix all our problems.
Yeah, just as the numbers start to drop, they've come up with this genius idea to make them drop further by having bullshit barbecue fiestas like that one asshole.
Cool.
All right, let's end this.
Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate the time that you spend with us. It means a lot to us. And we're growing. More of you are listening, and that's very, very cool. Philippines back on top. Yeah. So US, you got to get back in the race. Sadly, our home country of Canada, 3rd place.
Yeah, you guys are letting the ball drop. That's okay. You're better at hockey pucks, I guess. But
yeah. But you know what? I think I prefer the Philippines, to be honest. If I had to choose between which country we had the back of, what am I trying to say?
I don't know. But also, Canada's listening, so shut your goddamn mouth.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh God, Justin Trudeau, it's gonna come at us. Regardless of where you are or who you are, thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing with your friends if you are. It means the world to us. If you would like to reach out and have a question answered, or even just say hello, whatever, we're happy to hear from you. You can reach us on Facebook at FCK Buddies Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at FCK Buddies Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_Buddies. Niall is very active on Twitter, so he'll probably get a chance to tweet back to you. You can email us at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com, or you can visit us online at fbuddiespodcast.com and hit the contact button, and you'll be able to send us an email and choose your agent name, and we'll answer you ASAP.
Yeah. Also, Kyle has been, you know Kyle, if you've been listening, he's been our guest the most times of any guest. He's wonderful inside and out. He's a legend of a chef. He's just one of the best people in the world, and he's been helping us with our social media. So if you realize that our Instagram is actually functional and incredible, that is him. So he'll also respond to you or forward on your lovely thoughts and or responses, messages, etc. to us. So
Yeah,
get him up there because he's better at this than we are. Thank you to Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for their song Paper Stars. And seriously, guys, thank you so much for, like, our numbers have never dipped. Like, they've always grown week by week. So someone out there is always telling somebody else to give it a listen, and that person's staying, and that means so much to us. You guys are the reason why we do this. So to the people letting their friends know and spreading us further, thank you so much, and we appreciate it, and hopefully we will be worthy of the love that you guys give us all the time, because we love you guys right back.
Absolutely. At the end of the episode, Niall, I don't want to say treats us, but will regale us with some bad sex writing that he finds on the internet or through modern literature. Do you have some for us today, Niall?
Yeah, I feel bad. I said a nice thing about, like, all our listeners, and now I'm just going to punish them with this. This is Wildwood by Gino Diaz. She is standing in front of the medicine cabinet mirror, naked from the waist up, her bra slung about her hips like a torn sail, the scar on her back as vast and inconsolable as the sea. You want to return to your buck, to pretend you didn't hear her, but it is too late. Her eyes meet yours, the same big smoky eyes you will have in the future. Vena Aka. Venaka, she commands. She is frowning at something on one of her breasts. Your mother's breasts are immensities. One of the wonders of the world. The only ones you've seen that are bigger are in nudie magazines or on really fat ladies. They're 42 triple Ds, and the areolas are as big as saucers and black as pitch, and at their edges are fierce hairs that sometimes she plucks and sometimes she doesn't. These breasts have always embarrassed you, and when you walk in public with her, you are conscious of them. After her face and her hair, her tetas are what she is most proud of. Your father could never get enough of them, she always brags, but given the fact that he ran off on her after their 3rd year of marriage, it seemed that, in the end, he could.
Damn. If she was a catch, he wouldn't have left!
That's some real John energy.
My name is Dave Miller.
My name is Niall Spain. Love you guys.
And we are your fuck buddies.
Au revoir.